Hey coin collectors, it's DC on the Big D, and it's the 1936 Mercury dime from the United States of America. We have the Denver Mint one here, we have the front of the Philadelphia Mint one here, and we have the San Francisco Mint one over here where you see the S down below on the back. And that's why we have these turned over, because the mint mark in 1936 was on the back of the coin. And then up through here we see some other coins, and you'll notice that there's a 1916 Mercury, a 1945 Mercury, and a 1946 Roosevelt dime. So let's talk about the Mercury dime, where it came from, and then we'll go into the numbers for the 1936 dime. So the first Mercury dime came out in 1916. And it replaced the Barber dime. And this is a 1916 version of it, a little bit worn. You can see it says Liberty around the top. In God We Trust down here in front of Lady Liberty. So this isn't actually the Roman god Mercury. This is Lady Liberty wearing a Phrygian cap. And we'll show you the Phrygian cap later in one that has a little bit more definition. This coin was engraved and designed by Adolf A. Weinman, and you can see the AAW right here, and you can see the year 1916. On the back, you can see it says United States of America around the top, one dime at the bottom, and there's this Roman war implement here in the center called the fasces. And looking at the fasces is how you determine the value of these coins. So this is the 1916 version. 1936 was the 21st year of the Mercury dime, and you see this one again says Liberty at the top, and you see that this winged cap that Lady Liberty has on. This is actually Lady Liberty wearing a Phrygian cap for freedom of thought. It's not the Roman god Mercury. It's so often confused as the Roman god Mercury that we now call them Mercury dimes, even though it isn't Mercury on them. In 1936 at Philadelphia, they made 87.5 million of these. And when you try to value them, what you need to do is look at the lines going down and the lines going across. At the Philadelphia Mint, they found 7 so far with full bands at a Mint State 67 plus that are worth $17,500. They've also found 2 known double die obverse varieties, and the most pricey of those goes for between $2,000 and $3,000. Let's take a look at one with a full bands from the PCGS website. If you're wondering how good they can look, just go over to the PCGS website. This is the 1936 Philadelphia, and you can see over here on the right, no mint mark down at the bottom. And then here is the 1936 Denver Mint coin, and you can see this again from the PCGS website, and you can see the Denver Mint mark right down there. And then finally, there's the San Francisco Mint coin from the PCGS website. If you go right up here, you can see the web address. And down here, you see the S for the San Francisco Mint coin. When you're talking about full bands, you can really tell what full bands are here. Look at the separation. Look here, and then look at this. This is called the fasces, and look at the rope that ties the fasces together as you go down. One last look at that Philadelphia one, because it's just amazingly good. Look at the detail in here. Look at how sharp that blade looks. So this is a full bands 1936, and then if you go down to the bottom, you see it's an MS 68 plus full bands. If you go a little bit further down, you can see that one of these sold at auction for $15,275 at the Legend Rare Coins auction on August 27th, 2020. So now we've seen what a full bands one would look like if we ever could get one. And you can tell why they're expensive, because they have so much detail. This is one here is from the Denver Mint. At the Denver Mint in 1936, they made 16.132 million of these. They found one so far with a Mint State 68 plus full bands, and that's worth $15,000. And finally, the San Francisco Mint. And the San Francisco Mint, you can tell because it's going to have an S down here. And this one is very beat and a little bit chipped. At the San Francisco Mint in 1936, they made 9.2 million of these. And they found one Mint State 68 full bands. It's worth $32,500. They've also found a couple double die obverses from the San Francisco Mint, and those are worth around $1,000 in the best condition. 1936 was also the first year that the United States ever had a proof set. Now, you're not going to see many of them around. You can see one on eBay now, NGC graded proof set, going for about $13,500. If you get an ungraded proof set in its package, it's probably worth over $6,000. What did it have in it? Well, the proof set from 1936 had a Walking Liberty, $50, a Washington quarter, a Mercury dime, a Buffalo nickel, and a Lincoln penny. We had some other coins up at the top at the beginning that we were looking at, and here's one of them. This is the 1945 Mercury dime, and 1945 was the last year that they made the Mercury dime. They went from 1916 until 1945 and would have continued on, except that in 1945 President Franklin D. Roosevelt died while in office. And so in 1946, they came out with the Roosevelt dime. And this is the first year of the Roosevelt dime. I'll flip this one over so you can see this one. And notice they also put the mint marks on the back in 1946 for the Roosevelt dime. And this is a San Francisco Mint dime. If you want to get these dimes, either the San Francisco Mint 36, the Denver Mint 36, or the Philadelphia Mint 36. And of course, the Philadelphia Mint 1936 is going to have no mint mark down here on the back, and that's how you can tell the difference. No mint mark, there's the D, and there is the S. If you want to get these, you can get these on eBay in probably this condition or a little worse for somewhere around $5 each, maybe $7 to $8 when you get up near the S's. So they're not hugely expensive until you get them with those full bands that we saw in PCGS. The proof sets in 1936 were made at Philadelphia, so they will have no mint mark on them. The proof sets look slightly different. If you get a really shiny version of the 1936, it's probably not a proof set. It's probably something that's been cleaned. The proof coins do not look shiny in most instances unless they're incredibly high graded proof coins. And if you do get one, first thing you do is you take it to a dealer and ask the dealer whether they think it's a proof coin or not. And the dealer can go through and tell you all the details and probably confirm whether it is or not. If it is, then you send it to PCGS or NGC. If not, the dealer is probably going to tell you it's been cleaned. All right, well, that's all we have today from DC Coin World International Coin Channel. We'd like to have you subscribe to the channel and leave any comments you have in the comments section.